This is Iron Sharpens Iron Council. Welcome to the evolution.
Oh man, okay, so we're recording. Okay, so welcome back to the channel, guys. You know I gotta do my spiel. Welcome back to the channel. This is Ann Smith with Iron Sharpens Iron Council. Just happened off camera. I said, oh, hold on. Y'all gotta hear this. Go ahead, Stan. Tell them the story. They got to hear this. Good strategy.
Yes, I was in traffic court. I was leaving a hearing, and there was 3 cops standing talking to us, and one of them said to the others, if I give a black man or African American a ticket and he comes to court the following day, I wouldn't even recognize what the person looked like. So I walked up to them and I said to the officer, thank you very much. You just solved my problem. So therefore, when I went to another hearing, and before the officer said anything, I said to the judge, Your Honor, I have something to say. Or may I say something? And I said to the officer, remember this, you are under oath. So now, I'd like to know, without you looking at your notes, do you have any recollection of seeing my person before today? The judge turned around and looked at the officer and told him, do not answer that question, case is dismissed. Simple.
Wow.
I know.
That's
Powerful.
Knowledge is power, like you guys said earlier. You just got to know your rights.
Applying your knowledge.
Knowledge is power, and power is freedom. Oh,
Absolutely.
There's nothing like it. Nothing like it.
Absolutely.
Yes, but this is a one-on-one. This is a very personal fight. You can't be out here trying to hire this one and hire that one. You got to do this thing. You got to find the strength within and do this. Look at that. The reason why that strategy is so powerful is because it was kept from us for so long. They know that they have to keep all these notes to remember you. They cannot remember. These cops out here, they can't remember everyone.
They're going to remember everybody.
Right. They have to have a valid first-hand experience, okay? First-hand knowledge of the facts that they are claiming against you in a court of law. And if he does not have the recollection, well, that invalidates his claim.
Absolutely.
You know, it's just that simple. And it was just a luck of the draw that you passed those 3 cops in the lobby speaking, and they gave you this very powerful strategy. I tell you, knowledge is power.
That was good.
Okay, but power is freedom. That's what you're using the power for. You're not using this knowledge to just keep taking notes and keep watching this video. You got to be out there inspired and empowered to take your power back.
Knowledge applied is power. That's right. You apply that knowledge. Don't keep it with you. Apply it. Use it.
Applied knowledge is power. That's really the truth behind that saying. Applied knowledge is power. Yes. Very
that was awesome.
Oh my God. We were just wrapping up the other video and then you would tell that story on camera. I was like, okay, hold on, we gotta record. So thank you again. Appreciate that nugget. Now please do not bombard Stan and Guillermo and myself with a bunch of questions. We're just here telling you about our personal journey. You know, we're not out here being, street lawyers, and this is not legal advice. And this is just, if you want to give us a title, we're just out here as educators. We're just sharing the knowledge because, this is a labor of love. Okay, that's what this channel represents. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe and share. okay, to empower and inspire other people, you know, to grow this nation together. This channel represents a nation of truth seekers, and we need the strength, because the strength comes from the numbers. So let's see those numbers climb and everything like that. I will still add a couple, you know, links in the video description box so that you guys can follow, you know, the journey. And we will be inviting, you know, these guests, you know, back to interview. And in fact, I will go as far as saying, if you all are willing, Guillermo and Sam, you guys can start your own show. In fact, I have a little name for your show already. Y'all don't need me. Y'all can talk about whatever y'all want, because the fellas want to see the fellas on camera. So I was in a conversation earlier with a dude, and he said he's been looking for a legitimate hustle. And I was like, ooh, that sounds like a good title. You know, he's like, what you mean? I said, well, you know, I got different shows I got going on YouTube. So y'all could take that title and run with it, Legitimate Hustle.
Yes.
And let that be the title of your show. You can have it.
I'll take it. That's a serious one. Legitimate hustle. The first word, legitimate. It's legal, guys, because people take the word hustle, because I've been called a hustler. Whenever people call it like hustle, it kind of puts a negative connotation on it. Like if I'm doing something that's against the law, man, I'm hustling like I'm doing something under the cuff. No, I am a hustler. If I was not a hustler, I wouldn't be here today. Exactly. I have to hustle. I have to hustle. If I didn't hustle, I would be just another one of the sheeple. Because I'm okay. Jim Jones town. Y'all remember Jim Jones?
Yes.
Okay, where the Kool-Aid? Where the Kool-Aid?
Yeah.
I drink some. No, I'm a hustler. I'm a hustle.
Yes, so I want to take away. I want to take a negative impact away from the word hustle.
Yes.
And make it positive.
Keep hustling.
Yes.
Hustle.
Yes, it is a hustle. You know, this freedom movement is a hustle, but it's a legitimate hustle. You know, just because you stand in the minority doesn't mean that it's wrong. Remember, just because something is popular doesn't mean that it's right. Slavery used to be popular. How about that? Okay? But when you know better, you do better.
Hello, somebody.
Oh, you're killing me, and you're killing me.
Hello, somebody.
Jim Crow were laws. It's Jim Crow laws. That was law. And if you broke the law, you got put in jail. But those laws were immoral. Those laws were totally immoral, but they were laws. And if you broke them, you could go to jail.
Absolutely. Let me tell you something about the truth and the truth movement. Just because something is legal doesn't mean it is lawful. Get that, okay? Legal is man-made law, okay? Lawful is the law that is operating at a time amongst the populace, okay? So that's why it is ever changing, because generation by generation things change, things grow. Like certain laws doesn't apply to certain, you know, populations, such as, you know, if you're out in the woods and there's not a lot of technology, a lot of laws that pertain to technology don't apply to you. So don't let these legally mass destructive words, weapons of mass destruction through words, you know, try to confine you and confine your life, okay? Because just because something is popular and legal doesn't mean it's lawful or right, okay? Always remember that slavery used to be legal, all right?
Illegal.
All right now. So the one thing that I want to take away, since we're in this neck of the woods with our conversation, is, and they hate us knowing this, which is why I love it and feel more encouraged, is that whenever you are called for jury duty, okay, and they're reading the instructions, okay, they only talk about the two choices, guilty or not guilty. But ladies and gentlemen, sisters and brothers, there is a third choice that they are mandated to discuss by law, which is to nullify the law. If your heart is not in sync and in tune with that law, you can nullify it, okay? And you can have a hung jury, okay? The first thing, if you want to get out of jury duty, say nullify the law, and they ain't gonna call you probably for the rest of your life because they know that you know and you are aware of the law, okay? Yeah. Nullify the law. They are so afraid of critical thinkers. Yeah, they're so afraid of critical thinkers that there was a man that had awareness of this nullify the law option for jurors, that he was passing out brochures and flyers that say you can nullify the law. And they were trying to arrest the man because he was on the sidewalk. He wasn't even on the court property. He was on the sidewalk. He was just trying to educate. And they were so threatened by this man sharing his knowledge that they were threatened. He had a swarm of police. I don't remember the channel or the YouTube title, the video title, but it's on YouTube. And they're so threatened by knowledge. They're so threatened by our power that they were trying to tell this man, get off the property. He was like, I'm on public property. He was just handing out the brochures because they don't want this knowledge to, become popular, because people have the right. A lot of jurors have said, in cases, major cases, minor cases, they have said, well, I didn't want to say guilty, but there was no choice because they were so boxed in by the instructions given by the judge that they only felt, that they only had the one of two choices, guilty or not guilty. But no. You can nullify the law. If that law is immorally bankrupt, you can say, I do not agree with this law. I have to vote my conscience. And they cannot do a doggone thing to you because it is by operation of law. You have to vote your conscience. And that is above the two options that they give you. Let me tell you right here. The minute somebody try to call me, first of all, I'm out of the system because I corrected my status and they already know. They don't want me in their courtrooms. Okay? And so, but if by the off chance that I get called, I don't care what the case may be. As long as there was no harm to another soul, I'm nullifying the law. I don't care.
There wasn't an injured party?
Exactly.
Another is that who was injured from all this? Who? What? The state got injured? What?
Exactly. It's a wrap. Yeah. You have to just, I'm telling you, knowledge is power, but you have to know, you have to be educated, you have to know the law, you got to get that education, you got to just know it and execute, exercise your right, so I'm telling you, man, this has been fun. I had the most fun with the conversations that we have had. This is our second video. We could have a third and a fourth, and I'll still be, ready to go.
You done open a big thing here. This could never be done in one sitting. This could never be done in one sitting.
Exactly.
We need to have different segments. We might have to have episodes. This is.
That's why I'm letting y'all know. Y'all can take this thing and run with it because
Legal Hustle gonna be seasonal, man. Legal Hustle.
Legitimate
hustle. Y'all could have that show.
They're not legal, legitimate.
Yes. We don't use their jargon. We reject that.
Talking about that.
We are lawful, we are sovereign, and we are rulers of our own domain. Okay, and so I'm telling you, learn that term, guys, and Google it, okay? Actually, I've been promoting Ocasia, okay, because Ocasia is coming up against Google, but Ocasia search engine plants a tree every time you use it as a search engine. How about that?
Really? Wow.
You'll be planting a tree, and it's free. Just go to. I'll put the link on the. Yes.
Wow.
Engine that plants a tree every time you use it. I will put the link. I'm writing it down so I don't forget. Ocasia. I want to say either .com or .org. I gotta look it up. Yeah. But I'll put the link, and I don't use Google anymore. I use Ocasia because I want to plant a tree every time I search.
Ocasia, that is wonderful, man. Now see, that's value. That's value again. This is not but value. This is, look, geez, you know.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
So
we have to leave this world a better place and have an impact. Okay?
Absolutely. Wow.
You are blessed to be a blessing. That blessing is not just for you. Okay? It is for you to leave an impact and leave the world a better place than you found it, than you inherited it. So you are a blessing to be a blessing to someone else, and that way we raise the vibe. That's how you raise the vibe. That's why I'm telling you, our YouTube family that's watching, every experience has value. So don't ever think, oh, well, I got to win and I got to do and I got to succeed. Who is anybody else to measure your level of success? You got out of the bed this morning. You are already successful. You know how many people didn't get up and get out of the bed today? So listen, everything and every experience has value that you interact with. So, wow, that's all I have to say. I was on a roll for a minute. I'll shut up now.
Learning curve. That was good. This was good. Wow.
May I ask a question on a somber note? What do you guys think about what happened in Georgia with the murder of that 25-year-old fellow in February? That is coming out.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with the story. You have to inform me.
Yeah, me neither, man.
That's the what's his name? His name is Ahmad something.
Okay.
He came out. He was jogging in his neighborhood in Georgia, some part of Atlanta, and he was jogging, and a retired police officer and his son confronted him, saying that they're making a citizen's arrest. How could you make a citizen's arrest when you didn't see this fellow commit a crime? They said that the guy is someone who has been burglarizing the neighborhood.
Okay.
And they turn around and kill this young fellow. It bothers me a little bit because I'm kind of sick and tired of these people killing our children. And no one was arrested. The guy was the retired cop was an investigator for the DA's office. So two of the DAs recused themselves from the case. It's just now coming out because somebody was following them and took the video of the incident and posted on social media. That's why we know about it now.
Yeah. Thank goodness for these smartphones, because it's really it's been acting as a mediator of sorts, because without video evidence, a lot of these cases wouldn't stand a candle against the enormous lies that the system builds against them. Okay, so let me tell you one thing. It is disturbing that this is so commonplace. Mm-hmm. Number one, but number two, instead of just being outraged at yet another incident of violence,
senseless.
Yeah, because first thing people want to do is march and riot and scream and talk about it on social media. Okay, I'm not about that life. Let me tell you the life I want. I want people to understand that they have power to do. Okay, the mayor of every town is the one, not the chief of police. People think, oh, well, let me contact the chief. Chief of police has to answer to the mayor. Okay, I'm gonna tell you that right now. You need to hold that mayor accountable, okay? Because there was harm and murder on his watch, his or her watch. That mayor is accountable to the family members of that murdered family, that murdered young man, okay? They need to write, and they need to take the mayor to court, okay? It's time. Stop all this writing and talking and calling. No. They have an unlawful death on their hands, and they need to be held accountable for it. But don't worry about the cop. It's gonna trickle down. You know, shit rolls down, right? Start at the top with the mayor. The mayor is the one who is accountable to the people of the county. Okay, so if you live in a county with a mayor, that's who you take your issue up with. He is accountable for that death as if he pulled the trigger himself. That's how serious his role is. Take it to the mayor, and then what you do is you rope in the sheriff, and then what you do is you send a bill, you send an invoice to them. They're gonna pay attention to that situation. Okay, it's time to stop all the boo-hoo crying and yelling and screaming and trying to march. Ain't no, like Dr. Claude Anderson, who is a civil rights activist for about the last 45 years, he said, what you marching for? That don't work anymore. We have social media, and thank goodness for the video being posted, and now they are going to be held accountable. So now they're trying to put out all the fires and everything, but I'm telling you, hold the mayor to task. Every time there is an act of violence against your family member, against a people, against a class, you hold that mayor of that county accountable, because that's the only way it's going to stop. Nobody's holding the mayor accountable. Nobody. When you start taking it to the mayor, oh, that's when you're going to start seeing resolutions in a major way. And if we all start doing that, that's when they're going to be like, okay. Because all they're going to do is, what can they do? What is the solution? This man is retired who committed the crime. He's retired. You got to hit him in the pocket, and you got to hit it at the top from the mayor. And when you start turning up the heat on the mayor, then he's going to start turning up the heat on his people. He's going to have meetings with his chief of police, and then that chief of police is going to contact the retirement board, and he's going to mess with that man's pocket. That's how you do it. Don't leave him alone. It's going to trickle down to him. Talk to the mayor in writing. Put in a claim, okay? Because one of his people that he was responsible for was murdered on his watch, okay? That's what the families have to start doing. Take it to the mayor of the city, of that town, okay? The power comes from at the county level. People think, oh, the Supreme Court is the most powerful court in a state. No, it's not. That's a lie. That's a legal lie. It's the county court, because the county court is accountable to the people at the county, okay? And guess who's in charge of the county? The mayor. Take it to the mayor, okay? You got to learn the hierarchy of your local government, okay? They're trying to make it seem like it's the federal. No. When you see the hierarchy, I talked about it in the other video, a little bit of the hierarchy of the state, okay? The actual, people think, oh, the federal is more powerful than the state. No, it's not. It's just that the federal laws apply across the nation, but they are actually below the state. But what's below the state is what's above the state is people. So the organizational chart is people, the state, people, the county, then the state, then the federal. That's the real organizational chart. That's where the power is in the local county. Okay, so that mayor is in charge of that county. People are missing the point. People are like talking to the governor and the secretary of state. They're going to the state level, but they're missing out on the local power. The power base is in the people. That mayor has to answer questions, and everybody got to get sued. Everybody. When you start hitting them in the pocket and you start putting in claims that are unanswered, they're going to start losing their bonds, and any cop, including the mayor, any cop, the district attorney, anytime you hit their bond, anytime you hit a claim, they lose their bond, they can't work. They're out of work. Hit them in their pocket. Start with the mayor, and it'll trickle on down. I'm done. I can't. I don't do the woe is me and I'm so, oh man, that's messed up. No. You better put that pen to work. The pen is mightier than the sword. You better start writing. And if you ain't got a computer, that ain't no doggone excuse. Write like you used to do in kindergarten. Take that pencil, take that pen, and put it to, that paper, and you send it off to the mayor. You let him know what your claims are. He can't refute it. He can't rebut it. He can't invalidate it. The claim is valid. The man has been murdered. He lost his life. A sovereign man, a living being, okay, a soul that was 100% innocent, and this man killed him with his own son, no less. Yes. Okay, and so you got to take the man to task. Okay, and it's gonna roll down. Okay, bonds are gonna be threatened.
Wow.
Huh?
I wonder. Let's hope they follow that procedure, that process.
Yeah.
Or that they know to do that, because who knew? I didn't know. You just,
Yeah. But it's sad to say that it is so common that they are brazen and bold, to do it sometimes in broad daylight. The morning.
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise me.
In the morning.
Let me tell you, it's going to stop. The only thing that's going to stop it is when you threaten their livelihoods. I'm not talking about their lives. I'm talking about their financial well-being. That's when it's going to stop. Let me tell you, I have a young man that I'm raising. Okay, that Most High, whatever you refer to as your God, your Creator, it's not about that. The point is, I have been empowered to raise this little one. He's 13 years old, but because he has my hue, I've let every county that we live in has already been notified. You bring it to me. You're gonna be sorry, okay? Because I'm not gonna be one of them mamas crying on the TV. Oh, you're gonna pay, and the next generation's gonna pay. If any harm comes to my little one, how about that? How about I bring the fight to you before anything happens to him? Because I know that there's a target on his back, because he's the hue that they like to target. Okay, so before that becomes an issue, I have notified them. Okay. And so you want to be on that, you want to have that sort of do not touch, do not detain, do not with it, contact. You want to have that situation going on. So I'm not going to be one of them that's going to wait and see what happens and react to a situation. No, I'm very proactive, and I've let them know, and I sent pictures of my little one. You see this one right here? Hands off. Hands off. He's under my directive. He's under my care. And a lot of people get a little offended when you call children property, but that's what they are. They are your private property, and private property cannot be, under the jurisdiction of the state. You didn't create that, okay? A intellectual private being created that. It came through me. How you gonna tell me what to do? You can't tell him what to do. You got to come through me. So I have informed them. I'm extremely proactive now that I know my rights. I'm not out here trying to bring no war, but I'm just letting them know the next 100 generations will feel my wrath, because bring it. The next 100 generations, y'all gonna be sorry if any harm not even a hair can be harmed on him. I don't feel no ways. I don't feel that kind of threat. I'm not playing these games out here with them. Don't play with me, because if they running amok. Yeah.
Mothers and fathers need to be empowered with stuff like that.
Absolutely. You got to send their photos, and you got to send their names, and you got to let them know this my private, not personal. This is my private property. When you say those magic words together and property, it is untouchable by the state, by the county, by any level of government. Private property. Refer to your little ones as private property. I don't give a damn what law they have. They can't touch them. And I let them know. So all I'm saying is that just enrages me that they have so much balls to be taking people's lives just all willy-nilly and just emboldened by it. So this is the course of action. This is the resolution. There is a remedy, but you got to take it up with the with the mayor of the county.
And you got to be proactive. Don't wait till the damage is done.
Exactly. Now, a lot of people before a lot of people start asking, "Oh my God, what form did you send? What letter did you send?" Guys, go to ironsharpensironcouncil.com, because I kept getting this question, and so I wrote it up as a course. I wrote it up, and it's on ironsharpensironcouncil.com. Political freedom. I make things really super simple. There's only 3 blocks on there, and they're all color coded. How about that? The red block is the political freedom. You want political freedom? You want to exercise? Okay, you're supposed to have it naturally, but because these people are so ignorant to the law, you have to inform them and be proactive. So I wrote it up and I sent it out, and you've been notified. You can't say you ain't been notified, because you've been notified. You even have the boy's picture. Play me. Okay, so, I let them know what's good, so they know what's not good behavior. And so, if you want to bankrupt the county, go ahead and mess with them, because you're going to owe me for the rest of your natural life, on down to your progeny going to be mad at you for the next 100 years. Go ahead and keep thinking you have power and authority over this body right here. I would. I'm good. So you guys, if you guys are interested, please don't ask me, well, what did you send? What did you send? I cannot accommodate every single request. Just go to the website. I will leave the link, and you guys can make the purchase if you want to. It is going towards the mission. It is a non-profit organization, and we are on the mission to free as many people as possible. That's the goal. I'm not about that greedy life. I'm not about money. I'm not money hungry. I'm set. I'm good. I am just trying to spread the love and spread the knowledge, through these courses. And, this definitely, your energy exchange helps to further the cause, okay? Because sad to say, it costs to, live on the public side. So there you have it. And I can, be empowered to help more people, right? So go to the website, shameless plug. But I know that the questions are going to come. The question, what you saying? What you saying? What you say? Well, it's right there. It's right there. So go to the site and look at the political freedom block, which is red. The green block is the financial freedom, and the purple block is the spiritual freedom, which I'm still working on. And let me just say something about the spiritual freedom block. Okay, the spiritual freedom block is where my heart really wants to just reside and move in forever, okay? When I am doing research on spiritual ascension and things along those lines, I feel so free, because I don't have to deal with this legal fiction nonsense anymore. You know what I'm saying? And having to navigate the world of private and public, and having to, go through all of those, contortions and changes, in my mind and the way my thinking, it brings me down. In other words, it brings me down. But, and that's even talking about the financial freedom and the political freedom, because that's fear-based. We have to react because of the fear mongering amongst the world. But when I'm dealing with the spiritual aspect of life, I feel so ascended and I feel so free, and like there's just this pure joy that comes from my heart that I just love being in there. And then inevitably I get an email about the other two, and then I got to come back down to earth and I got to kind of like deal with it a little bit. But I'm like, y'all, I like this party that I'm living in when I do my meditation, you know, and I'm just, you know, saying my prayers with my oils. Y'all just don't even know, you know, is a love train that be going on here all by myself, but it's not ready for release because it's not a matter of like, oh, being a perfectionist. That's not it. It's not that. It's that I see how bad the low vibration across the globe, and we have to fight a lot of these spiritual demons, right? These spiritual, it's a lot of evil stuff going on, and I have a duty and a responsibility that the information that I put out must be given from the heart. It must be given with a sense of responsibility, and I have to inform people because this stuff is so powerful. The stuff that's in the spiritual freedom material that I'm producing, it is so powerful that it almost scares me to share it, because once you are exposed to certain knowledge, now you are going to be held responsible for executing that knowledge, not by any man, but by your creator. And that's a heavy responsibility on my shoulder, because I got to let people know, now you cannot deny that you didn't know. That is out the door now. You can't never say, well, I didn't know and I wasn't sure. No. Once I expose you to this level of ascended knowledge, now you can't. So now, you know, I have to warn people away. You know, when I finally do release it, I have to warn people away, because I'm going to be like, listen, if you're not ready to live your life right, don't get this course, because you will be judged by it, by your creator, whatever the name that you call that creator, because you didn't bring yourself into this world. You know, you have a higher power that brought you, that you are connected to. Now you are going to be answering to that higher power, whatever the name is. And so it's kind of a really, really heavy cross to bear. And so I have to just be careful with the way that I release it. So it's ready, but I'm not ready to release it, because I'm like, how do I reconcile with that level of power? You know, it's a very difficult place to be. And once I release it, that's where I want to stay. You know, I don't want to have to deal with the other lower frequencies. I want to just stay with the ascended people. Okay, that's going to be my people. So I cannot, you know, be busying myself and dividing my time. That doesn't work. People think, oh, it's okay to be to multitask. That's a lie. We're not built to multitask. We're built to give us time and attention to one thing and focus and get it right. So, you know, I just know that I cannot divide my time when it comes to this third block. That's you know, that's why it hasn't been available, because I'm like, I know once I do this, I ain't going back. I'm in paradise. I'm not. Who wants to leave paradise?
No.
You know?
Yes. They force you out of your spiritual place. I know. I understand. You know.
Yes, because I care, and I want to help, and I want to, you know, make sure that everyone, or as many people as possible, you know, who are willing to hear the truth, to be exposed to it, right? So I have to come and, you know, expose them to it as much as possible. I mean, but as soon as I'm ready to release the spiritual freedom course, that's it. It's a wrap for the other two. I don't even want to deal with it, because you're forcing me to deal with the fictional. That's what you're forcing me to do. Okay, we are more powerful than we were led to believe.
Yes.
We know this. And so those powers are untapped. I have all of the information and the history and the ancient tools that was buried. Well, I'm uncovering it, but with that comes a heavy responsibility. And so I'm like, I don't know, because once I release that, that's it. I'm just living right there. I ain't coming back down from paradise. I ain't doing it. Yeah. So, but going back to, people who are beginners, because I have a very special place in my heart and love specifically for the newly awakened, like they're still kind of like, oh my gosh, in shock and the whole cognitive dissonance thing. So that's why those courses are created. It's for them. I always write with the beginner in mind, okay? Because I was a beginner. And I always wished that people would treat me with kindness and love and respect, even though I was very early on, knee-high to a grasshopper and all of that. Mm-hmm. But people were very mean-spirited, and you don't know, and I know, and, just egotistical. You know what I'm saying? So I always write with the beginner in mind. And so those other two courses, the political freedom and the financial freedom workshop, is with the beginner mind. And so it's going to require, especially the financial freedom workshop, it's going to require a lot of time and attention and a lot of molding, a lot of massaging, because, a lot of beginners are, starting to wake up because of social media. And so I'm going to give it enough time. And with the advent of time, the prayer is that enough people will be awakened, that are heart-centered, that are going to start sharing the information. And then that will sort of help me to retire, so to speak, because now I would have passed on the baton to the next generation of true seekers. And then now I can sort of retire, and then I can just go into my whole, spiritual, journey.
And stay there.
And just stay there, exactly, because that's where my heart really wants to be. Sometimes I go off of social media, and that's where I am. I'm just gone. I'm just, meditating, in prayer, fasting. I am, I'm tapping into transcendental thinking and all of that. I'm receiving messages. It happened just earlier tonight. I was telling. Remember? I was telling you how the stupidness that was going on with Facebook, and I just stepped away. And I went and I laid down and I said my prayer and I just laid down, right? And I came back, and do you know? It's still kind of, I still kind of am in awe when I can manifest something, because I'm so grateful for the gift of manifestation, right? I'm so grateful.
May I interject on that?
Yeah.
On that note, you see, what we all fail to understand is that, who is the creator of heaven and earth? His name is Yah. He made all of us in his image and his likeness. Therefore, whatever we utter out of our mouth, first of all, he gave us dominion over all things.
Yeah.
Therefore, whatever we utter out of our mouth shall come to pass.
Mm-hmm.
That's the power within us. Because remember, we are made in his image and his likeness. Therefore, we all have that power.
Absolutely. Let me tell you.
That's where your definition of spirituality comes from. That's where it comes from.
Yes.
Now, let me say one more thing, and then I'll leave that alone for a minute. Let me say one more thing. Your name is Ann. Guillermo's name is Guillermo. My name is Stan. Now, this thing about the Creator having a million names, it's not right. He has only one name, and he wants us to start calling him by his name. This is why he gave us the discernment, and he gave you the discernment to have that knowledge to write what you're writing. He gave us that discernment. Therefore, he wants us to start calling him by his name. And his name is Yah, not the Creator, not the Most High, not God. Because what happened was that we were brought over here because of the disobedience of our ancestors. This is why we are here in this hemisphere. You understand? So it's not to go into a long thing.
Yeah. Let's keep it current.
Yeah.
Because sad to say, a lot of
that's the reason why we are here.
Yeah. No, well, the thing is,
are happening to us.
I got you, but what I'm saying is, it's subject to interpretation because a lot of the text, the ancient manuals and texts and scribes, have been corrupted and redacted, and so we have to go by what current.
We can get into that in the next question. Yes, you're absolutely right.
I just want to say this.
Like Guillermo was saying, you're hitting a nerve right here. But you're right. You're right in terms of the scriptures and all of that was correct.
Who can we trust with the text? Who can we trust?
But again,
did you see the man or the woman write it? No. So it's all hearsay. It's all hearsay.
No. This is where I'm saying again. This is where you get the discernment.
Yes.
Understand what understand what you're reading and to interpret what you're reading.
Absolutely.
And we will leave it there.
And that's what happened to me. I just stepped away and I just tapped into that connection, which we all have. We don't need an intermediary such as a pastor or a priest. Absolutely not. That's a bastardization of your power, okay? That's theft of your birthright, okay? That's theft. So basically, I just stepped away from the computer and I went and I laid down and I just said a prayer and I let it go. Okay, I just said my little prayer, which is intention. Okay, that don't get caught up in the words that I'm using. It is really about intention, focused intention, right? And then I couldn't believe my eyes when I came back to the computer because Facebook had accused me of violating one of their marketing of their advertising policies, which I had no idea. They don't like to give you enough information to make you dangerous or to fix the damn problem. So I just walked away. I came back after my prayer and they approved the ad. I didn't change anything. And let me tell you, that has never happened before. Normally when they accuse me of a violation of an ad policy, I usually have to ask for a review. Okay, and they even gave me that option this time. But this time I didn't ask for the review. I just went and laid down. I came back and my ad was not only approved, it was running. I was like, wait a minute, okay. So I just continued to, you know what the difference was? Not only was the prayer the difference or the focus intention, but it was the fact that I didn't wallow and go lay down and ball up in a fetal position like, man, and complain. I didn't get negative. I stayed positive. I was just like, oh, well, I'm going to just do this song and I'm going to just sing this song or whatever. I just remained positive and I just let it go. And within the hour, my ad was approved and running. I was like, I didn't do anything. I didn't even ask for the review, which is usually required when they.
Very elated, very elated.
That's wonderful.
Wonderful. It had me singing in English and Spanish. I was like, wait a second now. Wow. Yeah. So I like to drop a nugget or two from time to time from stuff that is not in the mainstream. I will tell you this. When I discovered this particular form of yoga, see that people like to give things titles and names to make it sound fancy, but whatever, it is what it is. This is the title of this specific type of yoga. Basically, it's called Yoga Nidra, Nidra, Yoga Nidra, okay? This specific type of yoga connects you to the transcendental, to your, it opens your third eye, and it puts you immediately into that, into delta, which is a very deep state, but you don't completely, it's like, it taps into, it transcends between theta and delta, because delta is deep sleep, you're knocked out, but theta is deep relaxation. It's right there in between the two spaces, which is hard to get to without completely falling asleep. Well, that specific yoga nidra, is the one that gets you there within 10 minutes, right? Because it involves, and it took a while for me to find this little trick to get you into that sweet spot of theta, deep relaxation, and delta, which is deep sleep. Like you knocked out, you comatose. But it's that little in between space between theta and delta, right? You can get to that spot. When you get to that spot, you are connected to your higher self. And the way to get to that spot very, 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 very quickly is to look up, right? Look up to the ceiling, and then as you're looking up, it's almost like you're rolling your eyes, but you're trying to keep your eyes open, but your eyes are closing. It's really hard to explain for me, but when I learned that trick, what it does is it makes your eyes tired, and it immediately, you start feeling it in the back of your head. You start feeling the sleepiness, the weight of the tiredness, or whatever you want to call it. You start to feel it in the back of your forehead, and before you know it, you are in between. You are in that space where you can communicate very quickly with your higher self. When you feel that, that's when you ask a question. Remember, asking is king, is sovereign, right? When you are asking when your body, your 3D self is asking your 5D self, which is your higher self, that's when you get answers. That's how Einstein had solved all of, the puzzles of his time. That's what he used. That's what Tesla used. All of the brilliant minds, the scientific minds of the world, that's what they used. They went into that deep. Some people call it self-hypnosis, and some people call it a trance. But basically, and some people call it yoga nidra. But it's basically in that transcendental state of mind where you, right before you fall asleep, ask your higher self. If you can vocalize it, it's even better, because as Stan said, this world was created by the word, right? The sound of the word is vibrational. It emits a frequency, and it goes out and connects into the ethers. So if you can vocalize it, if you're not that tired, you can vocalize the intention. And let me tell you, whatever it is that you say, you're going to get. I promise you. But you got to get into that sliver of time in your consciousness without falling asleep. Oh my gosh, it is the best thing since sliced bread. I've been doing my yoga nidra like it ain't nobody's business. I'm like, y'all messed up and told me the secret. So I have been manifesting, so I don't have any words, because another reason it's so effective is because in order to manifest and tap into that higher self, is you have to be relaxed. A lot of people go into meditation all anxious, like, oh, I'm gonna get this car, oh, I'm gonna get this $1 million. Oh, you are operating from fear and from lack. No, you have to be relaxed when you go into it, and then that thing has no choice but to manifest, because the manifestation is waiting to meet you. Whatever you desire is already existing. There's nothing new under the sun. Y'all heard that, right? Nothing new under the sun. Well, that thing is just waiting to connect with your frequency. But the frequency has to come from love. If it's not love, it's not from God or Yah or whatever you want to call it. Now, I believe in free free will. So I don't impose my will on anyone. I know what his name is. I know what it is, but I'm leaving it up to you all. I'm not going to impose. Mm-hmm. But basically, it is waiting. That free will is waiting for you to connect with the other side, because this world was created for you to take dominion.
Yes.
Right? So that's how you tap it. I was like, ah. So that's what's waiting for, and that's not even that's just the tip of the iceberg. You know, on the bottom of the iceberg is a whole mountain. That's what's waiting for you in the spiritual freedom journal. It's a lot. It is a lot. It's a power. It is powerful. And so that's why I'm like, oh my God, if I release this power, these ancient abilities that was buried, I mean, it's a scary thought, because if it gets into the wrong hands, you know, that's a lot of power. So I just hope that, you know, anyways, YouTube family, I hope you were blessed by this, because we are blessed to be a blessing. I'm gonna just say right there. So y'all have any thoughts on all that I just said? I'm sorry, I just went on a tangent there.
Okay. It's a good tangent. I know. Yeah, this is, wow, it's after midnight already. This was the best 3+ hours. This was the best 3+ hours spent. Yes. It was well spent. Yes. Now I can now move on with a new energy, new expectation.
Absolutely.
And know that now I feel like I have new connections. You know, I've been empowered. I feel more empowered. And
good. I feel the same way too.
Thank you once again. We're gonna take this to another level. My mother always said, you know, before I go, you know, if you're gonna pray for wisdom and understanding. That's all you need.
That's all I'm gonna ask for.
Absolutely. And I'll add to that, if you're gonna pray, why worry? Okay, and if you're gonna worry,
that's what I'm trying to say. That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Why?
That's exactly what I'm trying to say. When you get to you're not supposed to worry about anything.
Absolutely.
You can pray or you can worry. Choose wisely.
I don't worry, boy. That's why when they said, well, you're positive for the COVID-19, you and your wife, I'm like, okay, we gonna hunker down.
Oh, you were that easy about it, like whatever.
Listen, you're looking at they say I survived cancer twice. I had prostate cancer. That's what took my younger brother out. I was diagnosed with it back in 2014. Then it returned in 2019, and we went in and they saw and did what they had to do, but I was never worried. I never was worried at all. And when people around me like, oh, you okay? I'm like, don't start throwing dirt on me yet. What?
Right.
And I'm
over matter.
Yeah.
I'm a superhero. You know, I don't care. Some people look at that like, well, who does it? No, I'm a superhero. That is my declaration, you know, and I don't worry, because worrying has never helped me in any way. And even my wife said to me the first time around, I was the one, my whole attitude was what kept her calm, because she started to worry. And even with this COVID-19, we were both tested positive. And what prompted the test? My wife is a first-line worker. She works at a, assisted living facility where she takes care of an elderly woman. But there are many elderly at that facility. And then they started to come down with the COVID-19. A few of them succumbed to it. But, she started to feel a little funny. So that's what prompted us to get tested. It turns out neither one of us exhibited any of the typical symptoms, fever and all that stuff. But my wife did get affected in the psychosomatic part of it, because she started to become a little anxious. She couldn't sleep. She started to have her blood pressure started to go up. She's the type of person, if she got stuck in an elevator, forget it. It would be like, it's done, you know. And she gets really, 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 and I've had to like calm her down and like, but it's in her subconscious already. She's just like thinks of, okay, take my pressure. I'm like, okay, 3 hours later, take my pressure again. I'm like, you don't realize you are creating your own little cycle of, you know, I said all of us have elevated pressure sometimes and it goes down and but if she gets an elevated reading, she goes a little nuts. And I'm like, no. So I had to tell her, let's ease the thing for a moment. And, you know, so I had to calm her down in that regard. So, but pray for wisdom and understanding. That's what I pray for. I need to understand the waters I'm navigating. And I am not a religious man. I'm a spiritual man.
Yes.
I've even said that to Stan before. And just to make reference to the late Reverend Ike, who is someone that I from time to time have listened to, you know, when people walk around with tracts talking about repent because somebody coming back, and you know, if you don't repent, my thing is just like he coming back. Did he? I didn't even know he left. Did he leave? Because the God that I serve is with me every night when I go to bed and was with me every day when I wake up.
Right.
And if he left, where the hell he coming from? You know, where he coming from? The God I serve is always with me. So I don't know about this person or this God that coming back, and I better get my act together because I'm gonna be doomed. And I'm sorry, I'm out the closet, guys. I'm out of the closet. This is where I am. I'm a spiritual guy. You know, I believe in the golden rule. That I do believe in the golden rule. We're gonna love each other. Respect each other. I love you, you love me. I'm not into doctrine. And it's the same thing I'm talking about when we talk about indoctrination and programming. We do need support. We do need support, and I'm not here to dictate and to, you know, impose anything on anyone, because I believe if I could love and respect my fellow man, my neighbor, I think I'll be okay. I think I'll be okay, and the golden rule and do the things like, you know, that I was taught. A lot of the things that I was taught, I have abandoned. I have to be honest with you, because if I was still on that wagon, I don't know where I would be. And I'm talking things that were taught to me by people that love me. You understand? So I'm here. This is where I am. This part of the station of my life. You know, but I respect everybody's opinion and everybody's angle. I respect it. I will respect it from now till the time I leave this planet. I don't have to be on board, but I have to respect it. I think that's the least I can do. You know what I mean?
All right. On that note, let me reiterate what I said earlier. Creator made us in his likeness and image.
Yeah, we're creators. That's right.
Right. Therefore,
I believe that. I believe that.
Yes. So therefore, like you were saying, therefore, he does not have a religion either.
Absolutely.
He never will.
Never will. Never has, never will.
I believe that too, bro.
So that's where we are.
There.
That's why you are the way you are. That's why the way Ann is, and that's why the way I am. We are in his likeness and his image. No religion.
You're creators.
Exactly. Simple as that.
I'm responsible. I'm not blaming anybody for where I am. And I just wisdom and understanding. That's all I need.
That's it. That's what I thought I'm gonna ask for.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. On that note, we have another. It was only supposed to be a quick, another quick one, but we just had way too much fun because it's so good to connect with like-minded, spirits. It's just a wonderful feeling to, be in good company. That's what it is. So you don't want it to end because it feels so good. Yes, I know.
It ain't that common. So good night.
Good night. Thank you, guys. YouTube family, like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure to share. That's how we get the word and the knowledge out. Thank y'all. We'll see you on the next episode.
We're gonna go viral.
Yes. Check the video description box always. Good night, everybody. Okay. See you on the next session.
Okay.
Hey fam, we are proud partners with Car Marshal. So if you or someone you know are looking for a new or used car, you can perform a nationwide search and it's free, 100% free. The best part is they help you find a car and actually negotiate the price for a hassle-free car buying experience. You can find the link in the video description box below to our channel sponsor, Car Marshal. Thank you, beautiful people. We appreciate your support.